Sankalpa, may the Lord please bless me that my son gets admission in medical school. Please bless me that my daughter gets a marriage alliance. Fine, that's Arthat. There are people who worship Ishvara for some personal agenda. But there are those who worship Ishvara without personal agenda. They don't want anything from Ishvara. If they want something from it, they want Ishvara himself. Why should we sacrifice anything less? It is stupid to ask for a limited thing from Bhagavad, is it not so? When you go to a king, like this beggar who is sitting under a tree and weeping, the king is passing by on his retinue, and seeing this man weeping under a tree, they ask the servants, what is the matter? So the beggar is brought before the king. King said, I am the king of this city. What do you want? I can give you whatever you want. The beggar says, Oh Lord, revered sir, my begging bowl is broken. Please give me a new begging bowl. That's all you can ask. What else can you ask for? If you really want to ask for like what Brahmana did, Lord Brahmana. Give you just 3 steps of land. Bhagavad Mahabharata gave him 3 steps of land. And what did he do? Took away everything. Bali-Raja not only was willing to give whatever his possessions were, and whatever his punya was, he was willing to give himself. The Lord also gives himself to his devotee. So Lord Ramana knew what Bali-Raja is capable of giving. He would not ask any Tom, Dick and Harry for this kind of a thing. He asked Bali-Raja. He knows he is a devotee. And he was willing to offer whatever he wanted. In the first step, he takes away his whole world. Whatever punya Bali-Raja had actually acquired, to have the pleasures and enjoyment in this world are all taken away. In second step, takes away the whole, all other world. What a punya Bali-Raja had acquired to have pleasures in other world, they are all taken away. Nothing is left with Bali-Raja. Whatever he had is all given up. But still something remains. The giver up remains. The giver still remains. Lord says, give that to me. Means the food is placed on the head of Bali-Raja. That's called a Mahatma. That's the real devotee of the Lord. Bali-Raja is an ideal. Atma-nivedanam, one who has completely given himself to the Lord, leaving nothing for himself. So Mahatma understood there is a two there. However, not like those tamasic fellows, not like the Rajasic Bhaktas. Mahatma, they worship me for my sake. They love me for my sake. So what is the true love? Bhakti means love for Lord. Ideal love is where there is no expectation at all. There is no expectation of return favor. Otherwise they say it's not a love, it is a trading. I tell Tirupati, I am giving you this and you give me this. It's called trading, is it not? You give him something, he says, take it, keep it. That is the strength that this person has. Here it is, yours. Not only yours, it is yours, and just tera tusko. Lord Krishna patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachari. A leaf, a flower, a fruit, a little water, you offer me. What is important is not what you are offering, the spirit with which you are offering me. Bhaktya prayachari. That pleases me the most. Mahatmana. So what Mahatmas? Those devotees of Lord who have no personal agenda, who worship Lord for the sake of pleasing the Lord. They even would not want moksha. They don't want anything. They don't want any favor. And Bhagavad doesn't know what to do now. He becomes embarrassed, that he is offering the whole thing himself to me, then I will offer something to him, then I will offer myself to him, isn't it? When he is offering himself completely to me, then what should I do? The 10th chapter, Lord Krishna says, when I see that my devotees are constantly worshipping me out of love, then I impart my knowledge to them. I reveal myself as their very self. From Mahatma. Mahatma Astamam Partha Devim Prakriti Masita. Not Asuri Prakriti, not Rakshasi Prakriti, not Asuri Prakriti, not Tamasi Prakriti, not Rakshasi Prakriti, Sattviki Prakriti, Devim Prakriti Masita. They possess divine virtues. You know what happens when you possess divine virtues? What are divine virtues? Non-violence is a divine virtue. Truthfulness is a divine virtue. Compassion is a divine virtue. Kindness is a divine virtue. Large-heartedness is a divine virtue. Charity is a divine virtue. So when you possess these virtues, your own ananda in fact just bubbles out. These divine virtues, what actually stifles that ananda with our own nature? Ananda is our own self. How come we don't experience that? Because of tamas and rajas? Because of raga and dvesha? What is sattvic mind? Raga dveshas are gone. Then all the divine virtues manifest themselves. And ananda also manifests in itself. Therefore, bhaktas are happy within themselves. Therefore, they don't need anything from Bhagavan. They offer out of love. Or, even if you don't experience ananda within, the right way of worshipping Lord is to offer without any expectation. You call it Nishkama Bhakti. There is no need to add an adjective Nishkama Bhakti because what is love? Love must necessarily be what? Must be selfless. Love cannot be selfish. Selfishness is not a love, it's trade. The true love, as in Narada Bhakti Sutra says, Narada says, Tat Sukhe Sukhetvam. The one who loves is happy when the beloved becomes happy. When a mother loves child, she loves child. And she feeds child. She fondles child. She nurtures child. She nourishes child. In that itself there is joy. What more do you want? The joy of the child is eating. That is that is enough to make the mother happy. As long as child is not talking back, so long this love goes on. When the child starts talking back, then slowly love becomes conditional. Until then, love is unconditional. As long as child is totally obedient. That's why loving our pets is easy, because they are totally obedient. Not when they come, but they are sent to obedient school, They become obedient. When the dog has become obedient, then it does not talk back. And throw the ball, very obediently brings it back. Throw it in another direction, obediently brings it back. Obedient. And similarly also, bhaktas are obedient. They do whatever Ishvara wants them to do. They are happy with whatever Ishvara does. They don't expect, they are happy. That Ishvara is all pervasive. He is my very self. So, Mahatmanas Tamam Partha Daivim Prakritim Ashrita. The Mahatmas, the noble souled ones, Daivim Prakritim Ashrita, they possess the divine virtues. And they worship Bhagavan knowing him. Jnatva bhutadi bhavyan. Don't think that his bhaktas don't know anything. You often ask this question, Swamiji, where did Mirabai go to study? Where did Surdas go to study? Where did Nanak go to study? You don't know their past life. How many lives they have gone through and how much study they must have made in the past life. Because they have come with the knowledge. Read what Kabir says, it's all knowledge. That is all continued in the past. What Meera says is all love. Nobody has to teach any love to her because it's a result of all upasanas performed in the past. But whatever little we have also is a result of what we have done in the past. That you are sitting here in front of me, is itself the result of the past karmas. It cannot happen otherwise. So, Jnatva, the devotees worship the Lord with an understanding. What is understanding? Bhutadim Avyayam. I am the knowing me as the cause of all beings. Bhutadi, Bhuta and Adi. Adi means beginning or a cause, and Bhuta means beings. Bhutadi, the one who is the cause of all the beings, one is cause of the entire creation, as we discussed earlier. So don't think bhaktas are just good for nothing, that they don't know anything, they just only do the bhajan and that's all. Jnatva. Knowing me. How do they know me? Bhutadi, as the way Adi, the cause of all the beings, as Jagat Karana, like Lord described, what we are discussing since yesterday evening and this morning as the cause of creation. So they know me, I am the cause of creation. Aham sarvasya prabhava, mattas sarvam pravartate. I am the prabhava, I am the origin of everything. I am the source of everything. And everything is enlivened by me. Mattas sarvam pravartate. All pravrutti, all activities due to me. I am the one who inspires, impels all activities. So that's how they know God. That's how they worship Him. Imperishable, we say. Lord must be necessarily imperishable. He cannot be perishable. Therefore, He must be necessarily transcendent. He must be only a presence. He must be only a conscious presence. So with this understanding, even if you can worship in any form, Bhagavan, as long as you have the understanding of what Bhagavan is. So there can be an image before us. Now we can worship image itself as God. That also is okay. It's called, image itself can be worshipped as God. As we normally do. We look upon this itself as God. It's called Archa Avatar. The Vaishnavas call it Archa Avatar. Means Lord incarnated as Archa, incarnated as an image, as an icon, an image, as a murti. That's one way of worshiping. Or you can worship the principle that this form represents. That map represents the territory, is it not so? The flag represents the country. Similarly, every form and every vigraha represents the principle. You can worship in that way. So, for example, Vigneshwara, we can worship this very form as God, or we can invoke from him the Vigneshwara, please remove all my obstacles. Or we can invoke from him Saguna Brahma, the creator, his whole valley represents the entire universe. He is the creator, sustainer, dissolver. Saguna Brahma. Or Nirguna Brahma, the transcendental reality. You can invoke whatever you want from a vigraha. You follow? So slowly our bhakti becomes mature. In the beginning, you only worship that Archana Acha, that vigraha itself is God. Then you worship this Saguna Brahma. Or worship on the particular expression, only Vigneshwara. Then you worship Saguna Brahma. Then you worship Nirguna Brahma. Whichever way you worship, important is that there should be worship in our life. There is no spiritual pursuit without Ishvara's worship. Understand this. Whether you are a Vedantin or a non-Vedantin or whoever you are, there must be worship in us. Swami, you are all non-Advaitins. Then what is the Dakshinamurti doing here? They ask this question. The Swami in the class is teaching non-duality. As soon as class is over, he sits before Dakshinamurti's vigraha and starts chanting, what is this, Swami? Where is non-duality connected to this? Well, this is also meant for purification of our mind. Worship is meant for purification of mind. Even the Vedanta, knowing also, thinking also can purify the mind. But that's a very sophisticated tool. Worship is a very effective tool for invoking the grace of the Lord. And what do you want is grace? For purification of mind. Yoginah karma kurvandi sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. The yogis perform these actions for atma shuddhi, or self-purification, or purification of mind. Because a Vedantin also needs grace of God, understand? Ultimately, it is difficult to decide whether I realize Ishvara or Ishvara came before me. When a river merges into ocean, it is hard to say whether river is merging in ocean or ocean is actually embracing river. It's hard to say. Similarly, whether we know God or God reveals himself before us. Therefore, everybody at all stages always requires grace of Ishvara. Ishvara Kripa, Guru Kripa, Shastra Kripa, Atma Kripa. Kripa may require. Kripa means grace. They require. Atmanas Kramam Partha Devim Prakrimasita Bhajanti Ananyamanasaha. Worship me with single-mindedness. Worship me constantly with none else in mind. This also Lord Krishna keeps saying again and again. Ananya Bhakta. That I should be the only one in your life and nobody else. Lord Krishna wants that the devotee should worship him and nobody else. Yes, Swamiji, I only worship Lord Krishna, I don't worship any other devata. But I worship, this man worships his wife also, his children also, his wealth also, his job also, his position also, his recognition also, his name and fame also. I am worshipping because I am all the time propitiating them also. That is Ananya Manasa. Ananya Manasa means is the mind in which there is nobody other than God. If God is the important thing in my life and nobody else, then alone my mind will be single-pointed in worshipping God, not otherwise. Bhajanti Ananya Manasa, with none else in the mind. With single-pointedness, with none else in the mind. While worshipping, nobody else is there. So Swami says, you should download people. Download means unload actually, not download. He doesn't know download or upload, but anyway, downloading also is loading, but then we should unload people. While meditating, unload the people from your mind. The mother-in-law is there, he says this man is traveling with one ticket, but 10 people are traveling without tickets. Who are they? They are all in his mind. While traveling, he is thinking of his mother-in-law, father-in-law, this, that, and 10 other people. They all travel with him. Unload the mind. Ananya Manasa. There is none else in the mind. And that happens only when there is no attachment anywhere else. There is attachment only in one. These are very high-level bhaktas Lord Krishna is talking about. Ananya Manasa, the highest level bhakta. One who has no attachment anywhere. Lord Swami, my grandchild, what will happen to him when this should happen? My child, my son, my daughter-in-law, and son-in-law. After all, Swami, we are all concerned about them. So I'm concerned, she has gone to India, not yet returned, what's the matter there? She went to, so Yatra, not come back, what's the matter? So all the time mind thinks of that. Because there is an attachment. The mind thinks of that with which there is an attachment. So what's bhakti? Bhakti is attachment for Ishvara. Accompanied with detachment for everything else. Ananya Manasa, with none else in mind, detachment with everything else, and attachment only to Him. So, it is nature of mind to be attached. So in bhakti there is an advantage. That it need not become totally detached. Let the mind be attached to Ishvara. Vedanta means not total detachment. But bhakti says, be attached to Lord. Because mind always wants some kind of a resort, some kind of a support, I should say. Like a creeper always wants a support, Lata, Kavita, Vanita, they say. These three. A creeper, a poem, and a woman, they always want some support. They need support. That's the Indian thinking, That a woman, when she is not married, the father is support. When she is married, husband is support. In the old days, the son is support. That was about the old time women, no more. Now they can support, in fact. Anyway, but the idea is that the love, always attachment always requires always a locus. Attachment always requires a locus. And so, single-minded attachment, they worship me. Jnatva, Bhuta, their worship is enlightened worship. They know who they are worshipping. So in the intellect, there is a knowledge, in the heart, there is worship, and all karma is offered. The total worship. The karma is offered to the Lord. The last verse will say, Man manabhava, man bhakta, man dhyajivam, namaskuru. Man manabhava, with your mind, you think of me. Man bhakta, with your heart, you love me. Madhyaji, by your actions, you offer to me. That's for single-pointed devotion. That's how the Mahatmas, the noble souled ones, they worship Lord. The Sattvic Bhaktas. Okay, we'll take a break here. For what? 15-20 minutes?
Yeah, 15-20 minutes.
And then come back here. We'll continue the rest of the section.